catch someone in transit, but now they're actually walking through, but they're going to walk through that tri-brush ward. And speaking of action, everybody knows where everyone else is.
Both games
Not
have
Curse.
just had a 5-on-5 battle. It's going to be in the bush this time. It may not be Curse's win, though. They had a good one the first time. It's Saint down first. Voidboy getting hit up. He's forced to flash over the wall. The repel hits. Daydream and he took repel, which means he only has auto attacks, and it's not going to be enough from the health pot of Aurelia. Back. Oh, he gets the cocoon. He got level 2 as he went into the fight, actually, and it looks like they may be able to get themselves back in here. Actually did not hit level 2. He just switched forms. I am getting super excited, chat.
Elise doesn't do damage to their forms, and oh my god, Elements goes in!
Oh, Elements, no! He's got 200 HP. He hits him down to 100. It's Voidboy now who puts himself back into the fight to micro in the damage, the repel once more, but it's not far enough, and the auto attack hits. Nintendo's still stuck between two. They are chasing out Nijaki. Did he take Cage? He is still running around trying to help his team. Nintendo off with 200 health. It's a 3v1 for Mashmi trying to take down Elements. One more shot, but they're going to be able to take him down. Up again, 5 kills in the first 2 minutes of the game. 2 games in a row.
I don't know if that's ever happened before. I don't think we've had 2 games in a row where there were 5 kills at level 1. This one, Curse turned it around big time. They face checked 5 and came out on top because they took their bruises first, abandoned out, and then regrouped properly. The first one happened when, like, as they were retreating, the brush near the bottom lane turret, they just waited there because they thought GGU was going to chase through the tower. Caught him by surprise, got 1 kill. And then I feel like they're just like superior communication or even outplaying happened at the end of it because there's not really a real reason they should have been able to pick up 3-for-1 kills after after face checking 5 people in a brush. So props to Curse for making a mistake, but coming out on top anyway.
You know, Jet, we talked about the inventories of what happened there. It's like GG went through that fight without using anything, knowing they got a few and saving everything to make the lane easier. So that push there was really to bolster up this lane and hold on to those biscuits and all those potions.
And I don't want to harp on anything, but like as you're saying about that, like it is an unfortunate thing. If you're starting with the total biscuits, you should have used those in the first fight.
So
right?
they should have
been drinking those because they're 2 of the people with total biscuits are people who died. So they needed to be drinking those as they were, or eating those as they were fighting.
Good, drink them if you want to try. Ooh, that Q from Nijaki already putting out some good damage, prepping him for Saint Vicious, but he is not going to wait. He spends 0 time there as Saint would, and if anything happens here, you'll just see him soak up some experience. As Curse and Cop pushing down on the top turret, super aggression already for the damage there.
And actually, sorry, to talk about the biscuits one more time, I actually need the internet to correct me 1 second because at one point, you could drink a biscuit with a health potion, and that was changed, and I don't remember if we changed it back again. So if you can't, then forget my criticism of GGU for not using them because they may have been drinking health potions instead. But if you can, then they should have used them.
All right, fair enough.
We'll clear that up later.
We
guarantee.
will. Jackie now in mid 3. Voidboy trying to farm with some Blade Surge. Oh, he missed one. That's not going to be good for him. Nintendude coming up to that top lane. He has double buffs on right now, and we'll see if he can make that impact on Nasus. He actually got the Spirit Stone already under 4 minutes into the game here, so he is going to start flying around this jungle with that regen.
Yeah, I really like it when junglers get the early Spirit Stone. It just allows them so much more sustain and just healing overall. Like, you actually save health potions too if you go back early for a Spirit Stone. You give up some of your early jungling potential, but you get it back in folds just afterwards.
Slowly but surely, each lane trying to grab that lead. After this first fight, everybody has to be wary. There's buys that really don't happen this early in the game for people, so it's a bit different of a game, but it's still that 5-on-5 that they're so used to. A little bit of a lane swap here, and we're seeing you do have Zion Spartan taking a bit of a beating there. He's only down 4 CS, and it looks like Voidboy has actually been forced to waste all of his, or use all of his potions, I should say, and back.
Yeah, it's really tough to lane against a Caitlyn and Elise. They're very great double range to last. Those cocoons let you spam the spells down and just keep hitting the turrets. So like Saint Vicious is trying his damnedest to save this one off, but it's so hard to aggress on that duo in particular for that very reason.
And he came out with the Fairy Charm. He's ready to get the Philo right off the bat. Daydream knows he can continuously pressure like that and waste his mana. Nintendo X comes down to the bottom, knowing they have a lot of damage on this turret. It looks like they may try to pressure the rest. Vicious and Voidboy doing what they can to thwart this off, but they are just going to go face first onto the turret, know they can take it down, and back out as the other one goes down as well.
Duo turret kills at 5 minutes 25 seconds, and actually Jackie's roaming around the back. Not Jackie, Jinte, I got confused. They're going for Curse.
It is Jinte. He comes around, the exhaust goes out super early, but it's to save Cop. Good guy Elements throws himself, and the fiery flashes into the wall, unfortunately. Oh,
Elements. That is, to be fair, probably the hardest flash in the game.
It's a big wall.
You have to hug that wall. You got to put your face in that wall before you can flash over it, and Elements was only touching it. So he failed his flash over the top, and it was an unfortunate move. He's got to make that flash play.
Big moves for really everybody here. Fiendish Codex already coming out. The tier for Jackie, I should say. The tier coming out for Jinte. The tier now onto Zion Spartan. So at 6 minutes, they start to stack those items up. And this is going to be a brutal mid game if both teams can hold this level of play. Baby Cage goes down around Jinte, but it looks like he's going to dodge it with the Rune Prism. Both sit at the same amount of mana. So it looks like they're going to keep going tit for tat. But Nintendo X brings in the power play for a sec.
You're still going to have to tell me why that's a baby cage. You need to justify your reasoning at some point throughout the rest of this match. But Jackie's doing real well because he got those 2 kills at level 1. Started with the Crystalline Flask, and he's already sitting on that Fiendish Codex. So Jinte already at the mercy of Jackie a little bit, and Vigar's laning phase is not meant to be super strong.
Whoa, but he did just hit 6.
He hit 6, and Jinte was not ready for that. That's why he likes the champion.
Absolutely. Super surprised and very nice assassination there onto Jinte. Was not expecting the burst of damage. It's just the Fiendish Codex, but he is using the ability power that Ryze has against him with that ultimate. 7 minutes in here, we see a bit of ground being grabbed by Curse. 4-3. The gold lead only 600, and that's probably to one person. Jackie at 3-0-1.
Yeah, Jackie definitely has a 6 exactly, Riv. Great analysis ability right there, the 600 gold advantage. And Voyboy's real struggling here. Oh, man.
Oh, there's a repel. Once again, they can continuously bring out that kit to bring themselves into an advantageous position. Nintendo X the flash for the flash and flip, and it looks like they're going to be out.
So Curse is trying to take the Dragon because there are 2 people top from GGU, but they got to be super careful. Nintendo X has his Nast Assault, and Jackie still doesn't have his ult back again. So the only ult Curse actually has is the bullet time from Cop. GGU can stop this if they want to. This is super dangerous.
Good amount of area of effect. The teleport coming in. They are going to back off as Voyboy comes in to help secure Dragon. They still have the Spirit Fire thrown down with those spikes from Zion Spartan, but it looks like they will let this one go. They say we have top for Dragon. Just make sure we don't die.
Yeah, Voyboy was not going to be able to make it back to top regardless to save that turret, so he used his teleport bottom to at least trade the gold for Dragon. Now it's going to be on Curse to try to equalize the turrets because they do not want to fall behind in turret control.
I really like how Nintendo and the team are moving here, pressuring after the Dragon. They went mid, they only got a few hits on it, but they're still pushing objectives. They didn't go back, they didn't kind of wait and stall things out. That's where you find these younger teams get into the lull and they can't find their way out. Voyboy returning to lane to stop this split push. GGU has great control of the map right now.
They're doing quite a good job early against Curse. Such a chaotic level 1. So much pressure on them knowing that Bloodwater left their team for Vulcan, and then having to pick up Daydreaming in the last couple days coming together is super, super difficult for these guys. And I wonder if they're feeling a little disrespected or just chaotic against Curse. Like, picking Veigar against him is something he hasn't been doing for years, as Zion Spartan goes hard.
Zion actually pulls on the ultimate. He's trying to get in there still. There's no turret to protect these guys. They are throwing down a Spirit Fire, but the Wither is not in range. We see a 2v1 up top as Voyboy is pressuring. Jackie goes face to face with Jinte and almost zeroes him out. One more Q. He is completely within range. They're actually just without. No, the turn actually got Jackie to kill himself.
You realized that, man, we're calling Jinte Jackie way too much.
I did.
He's Ryze. Like, Jackie is the embodiment of Ryze as far as the LCS goes, so he's killing himself over and over. It's brutal to watch, but I mean, Jackie is doing great on Veigar right now. 4-0-1. He's going to be such a threat. He will be able to pretty much delete someone. It's going to force Jinte to also go into Banshee's Veil before he's ready, and it's going to cut down Ryze's damage in teamfights as well.
Mashmi now in every lane that he can possibly get to after that turret went down, trying to farm it up, and he's still actually behind Cop. Cop has positioned himself in his lane the entire time as Mashmi with that roam, only falling behind 10 right now, but they're even on gold.
Yeah, so the AD carry battle hasn't really begun yet, and it's not supposed to. Like, Cop is not the lane aggression man.
Right.
He's the man who just farms up, makes sure he's there for team fights, and becomes involved in as many kills as possible. So, job well done for him, right? Like, against Caitlyn, laning with Cop, since they've been lane swapping, they're pretty much just both free farming. The fact that Cop has 11 more than Don't Mash Me says, go Cop.
So we see Voyboy in the top lane, and usually playing a champion like Aurelia, kind of like a Kali, you 1v1 your lane, 1v1 whoever comes there. What's his point in this? Is he going to kind of hotshot GG this out and get himself farmed up and then present himself in the fight, or is he going to be there teleport ready when his team needs him?
I feel like Voyboy's going to want to get a lot of farm.
Super farm.
Like, even though he sits in 1v2 situations frequently, he's super practiced at it, as I always fear for Jinte's life when he gets hit by that cage. But Voyboy is the farmer. He is so experienced of getting farmed when he's in a 1v2 to become powerful. And you can see he's going for that. Like with the double Thorns, if that was like a hotshot build, there'll be like 2 cloth armors because he's not wanting to die. Voivoy's wanting to get farmed and be powerful. And in order to be aggressive, you have to have a huge amount of gold.
Look like Element's trying to give his team a little bit of presence on the map as well. Top warded quite nicely for Voyboy to continuously farm there as they get the bottom warded as well. We'll see St. Vicious helping for now and kind of taxing the lane unnecessarily, but he'll head back to the jungle. They're going to get this bottom lane pushed, see what they can do in mid after.
Oh man, it's so funny. We expect... This is the curse comp we casted last, was the Jackie on Ryze and St. Vicious on Nasus, and it's getting... Yeah. I am personally getting quite confused by Curse's team composition right now, but they are the ones with Volibear and Nijaki on Veigar as Curse tries to even out this turret lead, but here comes Nintendo, and I have to mention the flash on Nasus because that's just weird. A lot of Nasus bring Ghost, and the flash won't let him stay in team fights. He's potentially getting kited very hard.
See what they can do. This turret is definitely theirs. Jackie is actually going to go ahead and back towards mid, save that turret because Jinte was not stopping the push. We can see GGU, Daydreaming and Mashmi haven't even really been in a team fight right now. They are completely crushing turrets, and Curse is looking to really answer here by just farming.
Yeah, and Curse is not helping Voyboy whatsoever, so he's getting 2v1 this entire time. They're going.
Will he drop down? He waits for him to leave. He was like, I don't want that. He probably could have got 1v1. Voyboy is going to return here to a lost turret, dives in once, and he gets a bit of health back, but it's nothing that's going to allow him to fight.
So GGU doing their best to keep these turrets down. Voyboy's really going to have to get a little bit more farm. He actually had to pop his red elixir there as they were diving him in. Now Elements is kind of there to support him, but GGU's doing a great job of keeping Don't Mash Me and Daydreaming cycled around Voyboy, and then actually not losing that much as a response to that, because the rest of the map they're having to play 4v5 because of what they're doing to Voyboy.
Looking around, all the mitigation being built for the junglers. Actually, yeah, we got cloth armor and then the null magic mantles coming out as well for Kha'Zix, so they're taking in consideration that Nijaki damage quite early.
Everyone has to build enough so that they don't get bursted out.
Oh yeah.
And after that point, they don't care about magic resist anymore, but also because it's so early into the game, they don't have the gold for Aegis of the Legion or Runic Bulwark quite yet, so everyone's just having to kind of build their own. It's a tough situation to be in because Jackie is so strong right now.
Mashmi, Daydreaming moving together. These two actually have not left each other's side this entire game. Still, Daydreaming sticking on Mashmi. It's probably what they said, just stay with Mashmi, peel for him. They give him Elise who can do just that with the Cocoon, and really they have been a combo to be reckoned with here. CS is tied between the AD carries. Like you said, we don't have that fight yet, but it is going to be an Infinity Edge before Bloodthirster for the Infinity Edge on Mashmi.
And here's the super interesting moment, Rip, because this is where Voyboy is top lane trying to catch his farm up, and this is on GGU to make something happen. The timing is strange here because there's 15 seconds to Dragon, so everyone's trying to shove up the lanes. Voyboy does have teleport, so they're going to want to probably fight this. The gold is very close as well, so this could very well be a Curse initiation with a Voyboy teleport, or GGU is going to try to initiate on them. But either way, I don't see these teams just walking away from each other. Somebody wants to fight.
Nijaki is going to explode someone. Deathfire Grasp just finished. If they get one stick on anyone, they are completely 100-0'd here. And like you said, it is Jinte trying to build that Banshee's Veil in the middle of building his damage, so they're going to see a little bit of a plateau there for them.
That was a great steal by Nijaki. He timed his Dark Matter to fall just at the right time, and Nintendo X probably didn't want to smite that one because they knew the Dragon was up, but the split push from Kha'Zix actually pushed Curse back from Dragon a bit. Voyboy's teleporting in though.
Voyboy is going to come in from the backside. Nijaki just took ace in the hole, so he's not going to take too much damage. Jackie tries to get in on Jinte. Here comes St. Vicious flipping everybody back. Mashmi isn't taking too much damage in the bottom, but they finally get control of that. Zion Spartan from the backside. Are they going to finish anyone or let them walk away? They get one. They finally get two. It's a 3-for-3 as we start here. Elements and Voyboy limping away. Elements is not going to get taken down. Voyboy is going to stay in the fight. He could be able to blade surge one more time. Oh, Elements stops the kill. It's a 2v1. Daydreaming. Good support clean up here. One more kill. Voyboy flashes the repel. Is it in range? It is there to execute for the double kill. Daydreaming on his first day.
4-1-3 against Curse Gaming from solo queue essentially, or Dignitas' B team as well, to the LCS, and he crushed that fight. At the start, Jackie flashed in. Daydream is the one who picked him up for the start. At the end of the fight, his base damages were crushing it. The percent missing health came in so key. His repel to follow the flash was exquisite, and 9-9, GGU got the Dragon for that. They were behind in gold before, and now they're ahead.
Up 1,000 gold indeed, Jat. It is going to be that Infinity.
Because they knew the Dragon was up. But the split push from Kha'Zix actually pushed Curse back from Dragon a bit. Voyboy's teleporting in though.
Voyboy is going to come in from the backside. Nightjackie just took ace in the hole, so he's not going to take too much damage. Jackie tries to get in on Jinte. Here comes St. Vicious, flipping everybody back. Mashme isn't taking too much damage in the bottom, but they finally get control of that. Zion Spartan from the backside. Are they going to finish anyone or let them walk away? They get one. They finally get two. It's a 3 for 3 as we start here. Elements and Voyboy limping away. Elements is not going to get taken down. Voyboy is going to stay in the fight. He could be able to blade surge one more time. Ooh. Oh, Elements stops the kill. It's a 2v1 Daydreaming.
Support.
Good support clean up here. One more kill. Voyboy flashes the repel. Is it in range? It is there to execute for the double kill. Daydreaming on his first day.
4-1-3 against Curse Gaming from solo queue essentially, or Dignitas' B team as well, to the LCS, and he crushed that fight. At the start, Jackie flashed in. Daydreaming's the one who picked him up for the start. At the end of the fight, his base damages were crushing it. The percent missing health came in so key. His repel to follow the flash was exquisite, and 9-9, GGU got the Dragon for that. They were behind in gold before, and now they're ahead.
Up 1,000 gold indeed, Jat. It is going to be that Infinity Edge finished for Mashme now in that fight. Jackie locking up both of them, but nothing to come of that. Curse so on their heels, everybody waiting. The summoners are down, the ults are down. It's a breather for the teams as they clean up the jungles.
That was craziness. I'm still recovering a little bit from that last fight, and I'm starting to take a look at some of the items too. So the Banshee's Veil on Jinte is really big. Then there's also the aura item essentially that St. Vicious has. His Lock of the Iron Solari if he times that right. The Deathfire Grasp on Jackie, so if he flashes into a fight, he should be able to kill one that time, because that was a huge crux of that last fight. He didn't instantly kill someone, so he didn't trade his life for another, and that was bad for them, since he was essentially the biggest gold leader in the game. Cop actually died during that fight. It was a close one, but they managed to burst him down, right? The flanking and the positioning in that fight was not ideal for Curse, and GGU got to be feeling pretty comfortable right now. 16 minutes in, having a lead on Curse is good, but we talked in the pregame about Curse's late game ability, and we'll see if that can come out, because this comp in particular isn't as crazy as their others, but we'll see how it works.
Looking up top of that lane as Voyboy moves back in, knowing that, or hearing that he goes for that Blade of the Rune King. Is this Phage to really thwart a split push coming in?
Well, it does look like he's shied away from the Blade of the Rune King, right? Maybe he only built that on his stream because he was winning by so much. It does look like he's going for a Trinity Force right now. It's still a pretty good item on Aurelia. The cost has went substantially down in Season 3, but there's a double buff Zion Spartan chasing him in the top lane as the siege is happening mid.
Oh my gosh, Nintendo Dex taking a quick poke there from Dark Matter. Cop locked up under the turret as he is, I think, closer to the fight than he's ever been for that second. Voyboy going on to Zion Spartan. These two trading back. The spike's hit and he gets the attack on. Voyboy stood no chance there.
Voyboy was fighting the double buffs. Zion Spartan with the BF sword. He'd just been sitting on his Phage. He got a little too arrogant with his own abilities there, and he got taken down. Zion Spartan and Voyboy battle so much in solo queue. Like, they are always against each other. It is the featured matchup. They are both so aggressive. And there's the cage,
the double lockup. Oh, the Deathfire Grasp to a half health Nexus. Not as much, but they still got a good burst there.
So Nintendo Dex burned his ultimate, but the problem is, since Zion Spartan dueled Voyboy, Curse doesn't get any pressure off this. So this whole time, Zion Spartan's just been farming away, stacking up that tier. The Aegis did get completed by Nintendo Dex, right? So they're getting the auras just as well, and they're also out farming a bit, because it was 1,000 gold after that last Dragon fight. Now it's creeping up to 2.
And look at this. GGU is really just doing everything we kind of say a team isn't doing this right now. They've got the bulwark. They're remembering to build, you know, mitigation versus the damage they're fighting and microing in and out the people they need. They're controlling the map. They're 3-2 versus Curse right now, up 2,000 gold. Really, actually, everybody buying Merc Treads too. Jackie's such a force right now for these guys. And they're playing amazingly. We can actually see Daydreaming is going to start going for damage. He built the Haunting Guise. Feels comfortable.
Elise loves the Magic Pen, right? Her base damage is so high, and the nice thing about having Nasus in the jungle is he is like the aura man in the jungle. He doesn't have priority items that he has to build to make his champion work, so he can really just go bulwark lock it. And that frees up Daydreaming to become a secondary AP carry threat, especially since he's been able to pick up the 4 kills. Like, 5,200 gold is only 200 less than Voyboy has in top lane at 5,500, right? So he's quite a threat as support due to those kills. And GGU doing a bit of a split push because Zion Spartan's still way off on the side.
Oh, Zion getting it caught. Oh, not Zion. I wanted to say Daydreaming the names.
Because he feels like a solo laner right now with how much kills he's been getting.
Absolutely. Zion Spartan is off on the side, and here he now makes his presence felt as he goes ahead, and he's going to take up this blue. His team giving him some good defense on the outside. Looks like he will see Saint Vicious here, but it's not going to be any smite out. Saint, half health. Comp very low on mana. They have to be careful their positioning here.
Curse really has to play this one carefully, and they usually have, right? There's a reason they are the #1 team in the LCS right now at 14-3. They do not lose games easily. It is very hard to close them out, and there's still only 3 turrets down. They're trying to siege this turret. Curse doesn't want to give it up, but if you miss death sentences like that, you lose a lot of pressure.
That turret looking at about 200 to 300 HP. A few more shots from Caitlyn. He's going to be able to take it down. That's the pleasure of just having that long-range attack. You see the baby cage kind of thwarting them off for a second, but they get to the right side, they take it down, and they continue to push down mid. That most coveted turret of the map, mid, second-tier turret gone.
So the outers have first crushed down. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting the outer ring +1.
+1.
So it's the 4 turrets down. Dragon in 15 seconds. This is where Curse lost out last time, and I think they're going to get this one for free unless Nintendo decides to sacrifice himself, because Don't Mash Me saw that juicy wave up top. He's giving away the dragon.
You see Mash Me farming quite a bit this game. Cop's doing just the same, 169 to 151 there as the dragon begins. That Infinity Edge damage with the Zeal is not there. They are just going to be able to take this, like you said, just backing off Nintendo Dex is not going to make that sacrifice. And a very smart move, because this is where that game could turn.
I could be wrong here, but that did feel like a failure of communication on GGU's part. Like, sometimes it is a tactical decision to move up and clear a large wave, but that's usually only if it's threatening a turret, if it's a time-sensitive wave to clear.
Okay.
That wave had a long time before it was going to be reaching a turret, and Don't Mash Me run out there. The other thing that tips me off is Don't Mash Me started moving down to the dragon when it spawned, which tells me they didn't know when it was coming, which could be something that Bloodwater used to do, and they haven't filled in that gap yet as a team.
Ooh, have to see. Just saw Zion Spartan go aggressive down on Voyboy in the bottom lane, trying to get another 1v1 out of him. Ping's going down. Actually, Voyboy is calling for aggression from his team. He's saying, Kha'Zix is down here. Please make something happen on the rest of the map.
Yeah, it's a very, like, new situation for Voyboy to be in when he can't 1v1 somebody. So he's got to just farm out and be a little bit careful until he gets some support. And at this point, he's got to run away because GGU's running through their jungle with many more people than Voyboy has.
Well, it's something Curse will always do is keep those wards up. Voyboy will be safe here, and maybe they can make an advantage off it as Nijaki starts to creep on his heels, but Nintendo Dex joins the battle as well, so it looks like we may just see an all-out brawl here. Caitlyn and Rise both on the backside, so Jinte and Mash, we need to make moves here to get over there. So
they're really going to try to rush here. Don't Mash Me using his 90 caliber net to hop over the Dragon Wall. At the same time, Jinte is just making sure to farm out. Like, Jinte had to go for that Banshee's Veil. He got a little bit crushed by Jackie early, but he's making sure that he keeps up. And, like, if he can transform that Tear of the Goddess into a Mirror Man at some point, he's going to hit that power point. He's going to be really strong. So, you know, GGU actually doesn't have a huge rush here as long as they're playing smart.
And this is where the game we see starts to slow down for GGU. If this next turret can't go down, just kind of them walking towards it. Curse seems like they can fight this. They know Jackie's going to be able to lock them all up, and the initiation after that is huge. They have the Volibear, you have the Aurelia to lock someone down, and you only have a few to jump in on GGU's side. And
we always keep track of these like stacking abilities because Nasus and Veigar are kind of related. When they last hit things with their Q, they get extra damage.
Yep.
Nintendo Dex doesn't have much on his Siphoning Strike because Jungle Nasus isn't about the Siphoning Strike, but that's a +81. And Nijaki is actually at +69 on his ability power from Baleful Strike. So that's actually a substantially larger number comparatively to Nasus' Q.
Looks like mid-turret siege is going to be the one GGU wants here as they try to throw out damage. Nintendo getting those Qs down, trying to break the structures as Curse does what they can. Taking quite a bit of poke as well. Great job by Mash Me to hit those Peacemakers and really harass down Curse. This is not many times where you see Curse dancing to the tune of another team.
Exactly, and they're not making any mistakes. Like, Curse is a methodical team in a lot of senses. They macro the game very well, and they're trying to do this right here, but they're also less likely to make like super huge giant comeback plays, right? Team to give an example of is like a Gambit Gaming. When they're down in the game, they will consistently just go and fight over and over again, and if they lose, then they lose. But if they come back, it looks amazing because they're constantly forcing the issue. Curse, I think, is a little bit on the other side of the spectrum where they will continue to farm, they will continue to power up, but they will not force when they're behind unless they see the situation, right? They're much less likely to try to make a huge play as a team. So this is why we're seeing this kind of resetted form right here, because GGU, may not really know what to do right now because they actually haven't been in the lead that many times this year. Whereas Curse also doesn't know what to do necessarily because they haven't been behind very much. So not only are their teams' mindsets, not only are their teams' mindsets into this, it's also the fact that these teams are in new territory.
And we see Oracle's actually being picked up here by Nintendude, and the Elixir being picked up by Daydreaming. So they're really looking to get all the damage out they can. They've got the PD, IE mix-up going on for Mashme on the AD carry, so he's putting out all the damage he wants to be presenting in the fights. These guys are ready to get in there. Looks like the Frozen Heart could be finished soon for Jinte.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right catching those Elixirs, Riv. When things do happen like that, it tells you that the team is looking to make a play. Because no one just, out of the goodness of their hearts, like, we're going to spend 650 gold on consumables and farm.
Yep.
Like, they want to make a Baron play happen, or they want to make a turret push happen. Sound Spartan is intentionally shoving up that lane, flying back. He's got 1,700 gold. When he shops, they're going to be looking to make something big happen, like they did at the Dragon when they won that big fight.
We are 25 minutes in here. Baron is becoming quite tempting for both of these teams. You can see they continuously put those wards down. That vision is power, and they are looking to gain the most as they are down 2,000 gold right now. GGU sits above Curse, a week 1 deja vu for them as they try to get back into this one.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong about the instant move because GGU's just done a couple of things that confuse me a bit. Daydreamin has already consumed his blue elixir, right? Like right after he bought it as he was running back. Yet when Zion Spartan shopped, he went straight back to bottom lane. He doesn't have a teleport to support them, so either that to me feels like another slight miscommunication by the team, being new, having the fact that Daydreamin isn't used to communicating with the team. He might have just bought the blue elixir because he's like, I want to force something, but Zion Spartan was like, no, we're not. I'm beating Voyboy. Let's farm up. So we'll see how that ends up going because now half the team is going to Baron, but Zion Spartan is still over in the bottom lane with no teleport. Voyboy could match with a teleport, and if they get initiated on it, could be bad. They're trying to sneak this, though, it seems like.
This is really scary. We can see they got about 10% damage onto Baron and chose to go. They realized the wards are being cleared, so they're definitely, I think that was kind of a mind game. How aware is Curse right now? How are they going to play, and will they pressure this? Obviously, the answer is completely yes, and Mashme doesn't want any part of it with the team.
Yeah, they're just like, we're going to not team fight Curse because that's scary. We want to farm a bit more. I mean, if you look at item thresholds, there is a reason for GGU to stall a little bit, and there's reasons against it, right? So it's like the Infinity Edge and Phantom Dance were big. Dragon's coming up, so we might have to cut this analysis really short. But the Mana Immune on Zion Spartan isn't transformed yet. He's going to want to wait for that as well. But here's the 5v5. GGU's a little bit out of position, and Curse is forcing again, trying to get the gold back.
Curse looking to go strong. Nijacking in the front. Event Horizon is down, so he can't lock anybody up. It's going to be Nintendo next, but he gets completely obliterated in the fight. Spartan and Daydreaming try to get in there, but it looks like they're doing just that, is dreaming of this one. Cop is still on the outside. There's that damage. He gets cocooned. This is one more shot. It comes from Mashme, and he's able to take them out. And a good amount of dreaming happened right there. It's going to be a 3-for-2 right now in favor of GGU. They smell blood. They're looking to push these lanes and push the advantage they just got from this fight.
And nobody quite took the Dragon, so Cop still has a little bit of health. Voyboy is still strong. They got to remember that as a support carry is still in the game. The 6-kill Elise is in the back with the blue buff, so that turret going down, and that does look like a win for GGU. The great thing about this for GGU is if they go back soon, there's still another Dragon to fight over.
You know, Jack, at the beginning of the game, I said they have all these possibilities to keep a fight going, and I joked. And then Daydreaming could jump in if he wants to repel into the fight, but you're a support and you don't want to do that. But he has done it now a handful of times. Like you said, 6-1-3 in his debut here at the LCS.
Yeah, so that's a very powerful Elise score. I mean, it tends to happen on support Elise, right? He's kind of playing cleanup duty. You can make an argument that Dome Mashme would have those kills, but they're in very different parts of the fight in these situations. He's not a protection support.
Absolutely.
Right now. He's a dive support, so the kills aren't working out like that. Curse rushed back to Dragon. They actually saw that GGU was slow in the backing, and Curse was more together in this, so they lost the 3v2 fight, right? That's about 450 gold in the edge of GGU. But you get the Dragon for 975, and that 3-for-2 fight actually turns into a 4-for-3 in favor of Curse if you just look at the goal. So just because they communicated better and Curse had better team play, they did come out on top of that overall exchange.
Absolutely. Mashme going very Wild Turtle-esque, if you will, in his build. He just went back and bought a Cutlass, and then he bought the pickaxe. Damage, all-out damage. He doesn't want any safety. He is going into this fight head first.
Yeah, I actually think he was like, I'm going to go Blade of the Rune King. Wait a minute, Voyboy has a Warden spell. I need armor penetration. Oh no, I need to finish my last Whisper first.
Absolutely.
He will get there, so this is actually another important thing. Don't Mash Me needs to hit those items if he wants to be big. They have the Muramana transform on Jinte. If Zion Spartan can get the Muramana transform, which he's going to do in a couple auto attacks, he's 744 of 750 on that. GGU will be even stronger in the next team fight. Now, I don't think that Curse has the defensive capabilities yet to deal with that type of magic damage output. They're not having a Bulwark versus having just an Aegis, which is what Curse has. And Nijaki, despite his amazing 4-0 start, hasn't been blowing anybody up. There's enough magic resist and enough beefiness sitting on GGU that those fights aren't working out for them. And again, GGU back to the Baron push.
It's that 30-minute mark in the game, Jat. The auras are definitely going to create more presence in this fight. Like you said, that Bulwark finished up against that Team Curse, so Nijaki isn't going to be able to pressure that much damage, and once his cooldowns are up, they're quite high cooldowns, so once they can get into that fight and pressure this, they could have a Baron and they could have an inhibitor turret. Like I said, 30 minutes in, 13-11, and a gold lead still for GGU at 3,000 right now. 2 Muramanas finished out, which means a hellacious amount of AD coming from those 2 champions. Or I'd just say damage.
Yeah, it's magic damage procs on those Muramanas. And the Voyboy being pushed back like this is just so weird to see, right? Like Zion Spartan keeping the pressure on. And they got to remember, like, there's a teleport on Curse, but I feel like Voyboy doesn't want to teleport down just because he knows he'd essentially give up an inhibitor turret if that were to happen. Curse wants to land an initiation, but GGU doing a very good job knowing that Zion Spartan has the upper hand on Voyboy and that they are comfortable waiting through these scenarios.
You can see that everybody but Mashme has actually built Merc Treads in here in lieu of Nijaki's Event Horizon. Curse tries to push down mid here. They want to redictate this game and show where the dance is going. But again, buddy system, Daydreaming and Mashme to push the top lane, and they may find themselves at an inhibitor turret here, but it looks like Daydreaming has left Mashme. They may get caught out.
Yeah, Mashme's got to rush back a little bit. I wonder how aggressively Curse is going to go up for it, and the answer is not at all. They don't want to mess with that. They didn't have the proper vision, and Curse is still just trying to wait this one out. Like, they appear that they're willing to fight over objectives, but if it's not an objective fight, Curse does not want to fight. They still want Voyboy to get his items. There's something they're waiting for, right? He's finished his Frozen Mallet. You know, they have the double auras on St. Vicious. It actually does seem like this would kind of be a time to fight. Cobb just picked up a static Shiv as well, so he's kind of hit that triple auto attack item. It's not the Black Cleaver type of armor shred that he usually does, but that's because their team has a lot of true and magic damage if you consider Volibear and Aurelia coming through for them. So, I mean, this has turned into another extremely interesting game.
Right. So even with that, we've actually heard Doublelift speaking of when you buy something like a static Shiv, it's good for that portion of the game. Does it ever get too late for that portion of the game?
It's just one of those things, like you build a Shiv or a Phantom Dancer depending on what you want to do.
Okay.
Like the Shiv is better at shoving waves,
right, of course,
which I guess is what Cop is worried about right now because they don't want to get out-sieged to turrets, and with their composition, they don't have like super reliable wave clear like they would if they had a Lux or a Xerath or something. So they're making sure that they don't get sieged out since they're really just waiting on the last line of turrets in pretty much in this game.
Looks like Voyboy really has taken on that role once again of being somebody to dive in with St. Vicious. The Frozen Mallet instead of the Triforce, like you said, the Warden's Mail coming out, which is kind of forcing Mashme to build that armor penetration, but not something we've really seen lately, people building Frozen Mallet in the LCS.
And GGU like wants to make a play right now, but as far as I can tell, their Oracles is up unless someone else bought one. No, everyone on their team is out of Oracles, so like they're trying to clear with Pink Wards, but they don't have the confidence, right? Because they don't know if in the Baron Pit is there. You can see Curse has littered wards throughout the Baron area. So Curse knows exactly, despite not having direct vision in that brush, they know where all 5 people of GGU are, so it's allowing them to stay safe and farm. And I think the longer Curse does this, the more comfortable they become. Because as the game gets later and later, their communication and the fact that they've been a team for longer becomes a bigger and bigger edge.
Curse's wheelhouse, those strategies that they use to really get themselves through Season 2 is something they can fall back on here. Like we said, that experience is going to carry them over GGU if they can hold true. They used it in the qualifiers and can resort to it here if they want to in this game. Like we said, Elements with that Oracles, still waiting for one to come out here. St. Vicious throwing out a little bit of harass there, cleaning up some cupcakes for himself. And it looks like GGU spreading themselves a little thin here. There are so many pings going down there saying, let's dictate mid, let's push down here. A little grab on a Zion Spartan. Elements getting taken out for a little bit of damage. There's the Event Horizon, and that is the crowd control that GGU was looking to grab. This really lets them do a lot more in this fight. Elements taking quite a bit of damage, and it's going to be backed off if it was just too far away for everybody to initiate.
And we'll see if GGU can make a play off of this one. Their creep wave is still about 10 seconds away, and Elements is on the run back to his base, but harassing him down that low is really, really important. Also, Voidboy burned his teleport during that because he thought something was going to be going down. So they've lost that threat throughout the rest of the game. Still, the event horizon going down, the wave clear happening. We'll see if Curse can hold.
Zion Spartan actually blew his ultimate just a few seconds ago and then got burst down. Doesn't have that up for this next fight. St. Vicious kind of moving up strong here on Volibear. They have him split a little bit, but Daydreamin' keeping himself in the front. Very interesting position for his support play.
Yeah, I mean, everyone except Don't Mash Me has a way of dealing with Nijacki's ultimate, right? So Nintendude on Nasus and Jinte on Ryze have built large amounts of magic resist. Oh, here comes a maybe catch on a Voidboy as the Dragon's up again. Maybe we'll finally see the fight.
Nintendude gets locked down there. He is going to use the ultimate. He's standing right on St. Vicious, and just look at his HP melt. But there's the Volibear passive, too strong. Jinte's going to be the next focus here. The exhaust goes down. He can't even cleanse the amount of crowd control. The triple kill for Cop as the KDA goes through the roof, and Mashme runs for his life here. Voidboy gets netted out on that one, saving himself by the skin of his teeth.
Oh, man. The cage with the bullet time and the box from Thresh just exploded all of GGU. There was a reason Curse was so comfortable waiting for this game, because they are so confident in their late game team fighting ability, and GGU just rolled themselves into that one and didn't really have a counterattack, right? Like, St. Vicious was so tanky in that situation, and the two glass cannon damage dealers, Cop and Nijacki, were pretty much untouched. It's just the way Curse wanted to play. That was an incredible fight for them, and because it's so late, the death timers are long, and a fight at Dragon actually gives them an inhibitor.
That is going to be a back out for them. They see the home guards coming into play here for GGU as they're going to come up from base, so they back safely. Curse has been waiting for this the entire time. The first mistake, GGU wanted blood when Nijacki missed that first event horizon in mid. They pushed him back to their second tier turret, and then once it was back up, we just saw Curse run down the mid lane and initiate that.
And now it feels like GGU is in desperation mode. Nintendo X is trying to burst down this Baron, but he doesn't even have his Nasus ult, which is pretty much the best Baron killing ability in the game. Daydreamin' trying to help as well. They're at half health. Curse knows this is coming. They have wars to go up the top. Barons get half. They're going to try to burst this, and Curse is going to fight.
Daydreaming is the one supporting. They give Baron. Here's going to be the initiation. The locket goes down. It only gets one. It's going to be Daydream. Not the biggest one to go down, and they are kiting very well while throwing out the damage. Voidboy gets the Blade Surge on. Is it enough to stop Nintendude? He peels off to save the team.
So Baron for 2 kills. They were in full run mode. They didn't even try to fight. Voidboy wants to continue to catch them. He didn't get his refresh on Blade Surge, and now they have 40 to 30 seconds of 5v3, but their creep waves aren't necessarily in position. So that desperation play by GGU, I can't say it was that bad. It seems to have worked out.
Yeah, they pushed in well. They knew they couldn't do it fully. Sticking themselves in the Baron den is really what we've seen killing teams, the Baron killing team. So they played it well, Jet. You're right. 17 to 13. Curse is finding the ground they need, and this is where it gets very scary for GGU. Another turret, 7 to 5 now in favor of Curse.
It's amazing that they've come back from that. This game was 4 turrets to 1 at some point, and GGU actually had a pretty significant edge. But actually, as Curse goes to pick up another Dragon, they've actually had amazing objective control since that point. Aside from losing that last Baron, they've been scaring GGU away from objectives and really just playing the game in a really, really strong way. We're now at like 30 kills in the game, and Curse does seem to have an edge. The thing is, though, they recognize that 3 GGU members have the Baron buff, so I don't know if Curse is actually going to try to fight for quite some time here.
Cop coming out of nowhere now, 7-1-6, throwing a Bloodthirster under his belt. Probably found that on sale while he was window shopping. 269 CS for him. It's 331 for Mashme, but that 7-1-6, really keeping him on top. Blade of the Rune King coming out for that attack speed item along with finishing his Phantom Dancer. These guys are kind of 2 different builds for the ADs. It's not something we see all the time. They're really varied on this.
Yeah, it's real cool actually, because Cop has a different mindset on Misfortune. Misfortune is a lot about bullet time and the AD caster type spells, whereas Caitlyn is really only about the auto attack. So Don't Mash Me making sure he's the auto attack beast, and Cop, just because he's a different style of AD carry, sure, he's picked up 7 kills in this game, but usually his focus is just general damage, and he's going to provide that with all the AoE crowd control they have with the Veigar box plus the bullet time. So, I mean, Cop is sitting on 347 attack damage right now with his Elixir of Fortitude being taken into account, so his bullet time is doing a whole lot of damage.
Looks like we got Zion Spartan selling out that Doran's as he picks up a Warden. I was just going to say, do you think it's a little late that they haven't built health, but they pick up the Giants belt finally on Nintendo Dax? Just watching that Baron chunk him down meant that the fight wasn't even going to go well, but they pulled it off. Now it's going to go a little bit better, and they have to start working these advantages. The pressure is not going to stop from Curse.
And now it's really swapped around, so let's see if GGU can turtle as well as Curse has in the past. Like, Voyboy's pushing the exposed inhibitor lane, so he's really trying to draw pressure around. His teleport is back up, but when they're turtling the base like this, a cross-base teleport isn't amazing. Like, Zion Spartan's pretty damn quick on Kha'Zix to be able to get over to the other side. I wonder if Curse is going to be able to make anything happen. I think they're just doing this to withstand the Baron of Good Game University.
Looks like we have Jackie going late game, haunting guys into the Leandries for himself. Hasn't actually finished the Athenes, though. See if he does that anytime soon. The items he's really building are just a small surge in power. It's going to be that first person they hit. If they don't go down, it's going to be a harder fight for Curse. They're kind of reliant on that first attack from Jackie because his cooldown's quite high after that.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie's actually gotten 105 ability power so far this game just from spamming Baleful Strike, so he's 377 ability power despite only having like a Void Staff, a Deathfire Grasp, and Haunting Guys to contribute to that. He's getting very, very powerful.
Oh, there's the box! That's the one they were looking for. Woo. 40 minutes in, Curse could look strong on this next inhibitor turret.
There was the spike. You see a Giant's belt. Like, that was not good for Nintendo. Now they're trying to siege. Still a 4v4 potentially, though, because Voyboy's off on the side split push.
They do have that inhibitor down, so that means super minions are going to be coming down that wave to help Voyboy in just a few seconds. Every 30 seconds you get a wave. So really, in the mind, that's not what GGU's thinking about. They're just looking for their base to be getting crushed now and the way to defend it.
Yeah, and it's going to be really tough because before the last fight kind of exploded, I was trying to talk about how everyone's tried to counter Nijaki individually.
Right.
Nasus was supposed to do that with his health and his bulwark. That was his counter. If that's not working, they're in trouble.
When your single counter can't do that, you are definitely running for the hills here. And right now, Mashmi and the team are trying to thwart this. It looks like they break the Banshee's Veil, and as well as the inhibitor. It's not 30 seconds for an inhibitor, though.
Yeah, they refreshed that inhibitor. It's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they got a bit of trouble going on here. Ah, man, this is really turned, and this is another display of Curse's ability to come together as a team and to communicate. And it's no knock on GGU right now because they are playing way better than everyone expected them to. Like, also considering in that 5-kill level 1, they had the 2, not the 3 kills. So they pulled themselves back in this game, pulled to quite a lead, and now we're slowly losing it. Can they pull themselves in? Because Complexity was actually kind of slowly losing the lead against CLG the entire time too. This one's not quite the same story because Curse is a lot closer and also a lot more powerful at this stage in the game, but man, this is really crazy. Maybe those 6 kills Daydreamin got, sure, they were great at the time, but maybe they're not giving the impact that they need right now, because when you consider he just got the Leandry's Torment and the Giants been working on a Rylai's, like, what if that was a 6th item for Don't Mash Me, if he had 3 or 4 more kills? Or what if that was a Void Staff for a Jintei on Rise?
Right.
It's one thing to get the kills on support, but you really got to make them count. And,
oh my gosh.
And we'll just see how that works for them. I don't know what the best situation is.
Mashmi buys a BF sword here when it looks like Comp is actually looking to buy the Frozen Mallet as well in this case to get himself some HP. I don't think that's going to be a Triforce.
It's a difference in style right there, you know? Comp just making sure he's keeping himself alive, but Don't Mash Me really caring about carrying at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's wanted to do as much damage and carry potential as possible.
The burst he's getting has to be around 1600 if he can hit it, but that armor is just stopping him right now. Good damage there. Jackie's going to be stopped up there with St. Vicious with the ace in the hole. That was good damage from GGU. They were able to thwart that really without having too much damage from the turret. Help them.
Yeah, I think that was a failed combo by Nijaki there, and it really got himself into some trouble. And this is a pretty low Curse trying to fall back. There's pings being spammed down, but
30 seconds on Baron.
No, GGU can't get that one, and I definitely think they're going to be trying to regroup for Baron.
Oh man, Curse is backing here. GGU has that timer. It's 20 seconds, so at least we'll beat Voyboy there. We see Elements and Nijaki both kind of strutting along to stop the back here from home so they can stay and protect this. Looking at the items right now, we see more, even a Giant's Belt coming out for Daydreaming. They are looking to make this fight happen for the long haul.
They really don't want to get bursted out by Nijaki. If they can avoid that, they have a window in this fight. But the problem is, look at those super minions in the bottom lane. Zion Spartan is down there. There's no teleport on GGU. Yes, Kha'Zix is mobile, but they do not want to have to deal with this Baron.
You are not going to be able to get too many kills on a Void Boy or St. Vicious right now, and you can see it's a 4v1 as the Elements is just kind of keeping the team at bay. Not really in vision yet right now.
No.
Oh, Nintendo X getting caught out once again. Doesn't even get a chance to blink on that. Jinte's Banshee Veil goes down. St. Vicious is on the run, but it's going to be Void Boy going in. That was cleansed off as well. Jinte is pretty much using everything to get out of this, and the flash is used to get him back. Jinte going down as he runs for his life. 2 for Curse, and it may be in the base.
Nintendo X wanted to go in for a steal, but it was too late, and it cost him his life. Then Jinte got chased down as well by Curse, so this is a huge power window for Curse. The second inhibitor is going down. They have super minions entering at the bottom half of the base. They might look to end this because a lot of the threats of GGU are down, and Curse is super strong right now.
Near full mana and health. They lock up Mashme, and it's going to be 2 attacks to 10% health. The bullet time just grazing over Daydreaming. He tries to save himself with a repel, gets down to the other side, but he goes down. Zion Spartan forced to ult and get out, but he explodes from the last hit and cop, and that's going to be the base.
This looks like the game for Curse, crushing down the Nexus.
Nexus goes down. Curse